What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw, yeah! And I hope you're ready for the age of apocalypse. Yeah, we're doing the Outlaws cut here. And we're going over X Factor and the X-Men today. And we're gonna see how life is on the other side, on Apocalypse's side. This group was run by Mr. Sinister until he decided to leave, betray Apocalypse. And now, these mutants are on the run, running from the slave pens, which Beast keeps these mutants and humans, doing genetic experiments on them, cutting, slicing, dicing, ripping them apart, and making them something new. They try to escape for their freedom, but they're hunted down by Sinister's elite, Scott Summers, his brother Havoc, and North Star. As they begin to take these Morlocks apart, destroying them, killing them, and they will not surrender, as one named Pyro uses his ability and fires out towards Alex. Alex, angry they destroyed his favorite bike, strikes back with a vengeance. And now these mutants fight for their lives, their freedom. They'd rather die than go back to those pins, go back to being experiments, go back to being slaves to Dark Beast, every diabolical whim. As they fight, Cyclops looks for the leader. She catches him off guard, but only temporary. She's too weak to keep fighting, too malnourished, too scarred up, too tired. Take your pick. And she has a moment talking with Cyclops, and all of a sudden Havoc blasts her, killing her, reminding Cyclops all they need is her genetic makeup. And she could be recycled as one of the new guards, as all the bodies can be, as Sinister thinks about what he told Scott, and that it's time for him to leave, for Apocalypse is going to destroy all of his work, his research, and he has to leave his two sons, his family. But Sinister has another mission at hand. Meanwhile, in the slave pens, two Gunthers, brother and sister, take care of the prisoners, the slaves, beating them down, as Dark Beast makes his preparations, his plans, his experiments, taking the dead bodies they brought back and dipping them in his genetic salsa that mixes them together and turns them into new guards. These guards will only last a year, but they will have different powers and abilities, a mix of this and that, as Havoc tells Beast he's still hurting for pulling him out of the Sentinel's hand, the damage that was done to him earlier by Weapon X and Jean Grey. As two of Apocalypse's men, two brothers fight, they're on Scott Summers' team, the Bedlam brothers, as they battle each other, going back and forth, fighting as brothers do. Scott can relate to this, he fights with his brother all the time, but he must see Sinister. He tries getting into the room, and what stands guard is a brain with an eye, a telepath who's angered Sinister once, and he put him in his place. But now Sinister has to leave, as Havoc takes his time in heaven, a place owned by Angel, as Apocalypse's men go there to drink, have fun, make merry, play in heaven while they're raising hell, as a human singer begins to do her song and dance. A human stands up saying that he's not going to take it anymore, that he's here to destroy the mutants, and all of a sudden his gun blows up. This was the wrong place to make a stand like that, so Bedlam brothers quickly take care of him. This flat scan, this human goes to the dressing room where Havoc is waiting for her. It is forbidden for mutants and humans to have relationships under the rule of Apocalypse. As Scott asks why they're late, the boys kind of hint to this. Havoc, getting mad, threatens to kill them both for almost exposing his secret. They know nothing about it, but accidental or not, he will destroy them for it. As Scott tries to get into Sinister's chambers, he brings a psychic to communicate with Locke, the brain, and it opens up. And they find Sinister's lab, utterly destroyed, his research destroyed. Sinister is gone. He's taken his ball and left. And he's left the two brothers to their own devices. And Scott is now in charge of the slave pens. He is the keeper of hell. As Apocalypse's statue, labs, and other areas begin to explode, Sinister has made his move. He has betrayed Apocalypse, for Apocalypse's vision of hell is at the hell that Sinister wants. And now we take you to the X-Men, a creature created by Mr. Sinister, a creature created to destroy Apocalypse himself, made from the genetics of Scott Summer and Jean Grey during her time in the pens. His first memories he remembers is Cyclops telling him, "Come with me if you want to live." As a hazy boy wakes up from the lab, barely coming to life, coming to grips with what he is, he gets a psychic impression of Cyclops and escapes, and he feels something as he busts out from Cyclops. Is it envy? As Nate has visions of a school, a mansion ran by a man named Xavier, who is now kept by another man named Magneto, who runs the school, an institution, and he sees a conversation with a man lost in time. As someone taps him on the shoulder, his visions begin to disappear. For it is his teacher, his guardian, his friend, his father figure, Forge. As Magneto sees something for a minute, and then it's gone. Magneto thinks it's the stress that he's under that he might be seeing things, but he is wrong. Someone was watching him. Nate. As Nate is raised by a trope of misfits, Forge, Toad, Brute, Mastermind. They travel around. They've been keeping Nate safe, teaching him. They welcomed him to their family, and also Sauron as well. And as you see the destruction of him using his power, reaching out, the psychic lashback destroyed everything around him. As Forge tells him he has to keep his powers in check. They can't risk Apocalypse finding him, not at this point. As they run a troop going from town to town, doing whatever jobs possible, using the show as a cover. Shakespeare at night, dirtier deeds at later nights and mornings. As Forge and Nate talk, Nate wants to use his powers to do more. But Forge reminds him there's a time and place for everything. Forge has lost too many people this war. He doesn't want to lose Nate. Not while he has so much to learn. Meanwhile, Cyclops reports the treachery of Sinister to Apocalypse. Apocalypse, of course, has seen this coming, but there's something else, a strong psychic. His ally, the Shadow King, senses it. And Apocalypse must send someone to destroy this psychic, to destroy this usurper to Apocalypse's power. So he brings out Domino, one of his favorite assassins, to hunt down this X-Men. Meanwhile, Apocalypse's men are rounding up humans for the killing, the slaughter, and also genetic experiments for Hank McCoy, Dark Beast. As he grabs one of the girls, a redhead, throws her family in the pins, slams the door shut, taking them off to their fate, to be slaughtered or even worse. As Forge and Nate hang out in the background, getting ready to attack, getting ready to free these people from the slavery of Apocalypse. As Sauron flies out of nowhere, creating a distraction, ba-boom. Forge's men come out of the woodwork, ready to free these humans, ready to do whatever good they can. As they attack, Brute slamming this guy down, beating him to the dirt. As they begin to free people, as they begin to open the pins, open the doors so these people can avoid the slave pins, that is. As they begin taking out his men one by one, Nate, running out of patience, decides to jump into the fray, easily destroying Apocalypse's men with a wave of his hand. He sets one on fire. As this girl says, "Look out," and he uses his ability to save her. But she is more than just human. She is something else, different. Nate takes a liking to her. As Forge plans his next move, they're met with an unexpected visitor. A visitor that has information. A visitor that may turn the tide. A visitor called Essex. And who is this mysterious stranger? We'll find out the next time, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side, yeah.